Welcome back. So this is the effect chain part. So this is fairly simple. We just need to insert a return track, and I like to keep it so we don't use too many effects and just use the effects that we really enjoy. So I believe you all got your own personal favorite effects. I'm gonna use 4 effects for this example. And of course you can add how many as you want, or as few as you want. But I like to use, as always, a reverb. So Valhalla Vintage Verb is just a beautiful reverb. Make sure the mix is on 100% on all your plugins. So the wet should be 100% because we don't want to send the dry signal. We don't want the dry signal to come out of our return track. We want just the full effect coming out of it. So that's important. You can of course change preset, but I'm just gonna keep it as it is to keep it simple. And then I'm gonna use the delay. Just also such an amazing delay. Here I got some cool echoes from guitar. There is some really nice stuff going on here, but I'm just gonna keep it as the default as now, because you might want to go in and fiddle around yourself. But the only thing I'm gonna do is put up the mix at 100%. And then the last two, we're gonna use 2 effects from Sound Toys. So here I'm actually gonna use another delay. So we have 2 different delays. It could be nice for maybe you want like a more lush delay for your keys and a snare or something. And then when you like a more a shorter delay, for example, for hi-hats or something. So I'm gonna keep this as default, just keep the wet knob on 100%. And the last one, I'm gonna use something that crushes the sound. Devil Lock Deluxe. This is just a crazy audio level destroyer. It's really destroying your sound. So make sure the mix is 110 in this case. And yeah, we can bring up some darkness, some crush, and crunch. And yeah, cool. We can rename them to whatever you like. And now you can see we got like sands here. And if you don't see them, we have can remove and show them over here, the S. And if we go into, let's go into the instrument bus, let's go into easy keys, and let's play something. Gonna put up the volume a little. And to send it, we just need to turn these knobs. So the reverb, delay, Echo Boy, really short, right? And the Devil Lock. It just destroys it. So here you want to fiddle around with the settings. Maybe not too much. On something you can use it really much. On some stuff you really want to be careful. Just to give it a little bite. We can try it on the 808 as well. Reverb on the 808. Well, you get the point. So now we have our 4 send tracks, and when we're in a project, we could just, let me change this to Sound Toys delay and Sound Toys, or just maybe like this, reverb, delay, what should we call this? Destroyer. Crush. So we have reverb, delay, crush. Easy to see. And yeah, when you have loaded a lot of MIDI clips, you can just go through, send them to what you like, then you can go in here, change the settings. One thing I want to talk about is that You could also do the same here as we did with the drums and the bass, or I showed you how you could do it with the bass. I didn't do it myself. You can load an audio effect rack, and in this rack we can drop audio effects. So you can actually do a return track, add this audio effect on that return track, and here we can drop audio effects. So let me go into my plugins and actually let me drop all the sound toys. Okay, I can't, you have to drop them one by one, but let's do it. And while we're doing it, we can make sure the mix is on 100% wet, and we can open this menu button here. We can rename them so we know what they are. And as we did before, we can open the chain, we can control Alt and distribute ranges equally, and we have to map to macro, and we say FX selector. And I actually have the lucky thing here that I only used 7 knobs to change out my drum sounds, and I got my last knob on my MIDI MPK Mini. I'm not using it, so I could use this for this FX selector. And as you can see now, we can select different effects, and if I send something through this E, so we can call this multi. So sorry, I had to rename them again. I keep it organized. So if we go into, let's say, the instrument bus here, and we can just go into easy keys, create a chord progression, listen to it, change out the MIDI, and we can send this through the multi. You can see we're at the crystallizer. If I now turn my knob, so yeah, some of them were pretty hard to hear, so you might need to fiddle with the settings on each of them, but you get the point. So you can set up like an effect rack and send them and easily switch between effects to experiment and try and find an effect you really enjoy. So I'm gonna keep this, I think it's handy, and I believe that was everything for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.